Outside the friendly confines of Dr. T. Kermit Tower Gymnasium, where this evening the Senators return home after a month on the road to finish up a double-dip weekend of PLAC basketball. And my broadcast partner, Joe Walker. Well, at times last night, the basketball wasn't as exciting as some may have hoped for, but the Senators willed themselves to their ninth victory of the season over a very aggressive Springs Valley club. In fact, the Senators grabbed their only lead of the first half last night with the first bucket of the game by Hunter Sanford before Valley seized some early momentum and grabbed leads as large as 8 on 3 different occasions in that first half of play. However, the Senators did bounce back with a strong third quarter effort to cut the lead to 1 going into the fourth quarter at 45-44. In that final stretch of 8 minutes, West Washington did manage, though, just a mere 4 field goals, but again did a lot of heavy lifting at the foul stripe as they went 17 of 21 in the final 8 minutes of regulation from the free throw line to deliver the knockout blow, winning it by an 8-point margin. And per usual, the Senators got a balanced attack with 5 of their 6 seniors getting into double figures. Leading the way was the Iceman, Jackson Byrne, who chipped in a game-high 17 points on the evening, and Michael Sizemore rode shotgun with 16 to back him up in the victory. Joe, it was another game where it appeared the Senators just took some early punches from their opponent and stumbled into the ropes a few times, but true to form, like Rocky Balboa and so many of those iconic movies, they seemed to find their stride in that final round of the fight to deliver that knockout blow and walk away 2-0 in the Patoka Lake Athletic Conference. So I'll throw this two-parter out at you to start things off tonight. First, do you think this is going to become the identity and kind of the MO of this team as we head down the final stretch of the regular season? And with it appearing to be an ever-shrinking rotation, how much of a concern does that raise for this Senator Ball Club?
Well, Misty, you bring up Balboa and the ropes, and I kind of got another fighter in mind is Ali. You know, we seemed to kind of back into the ropes last night and take the punches and pull a little rope-a-dope like Ali did for years. And I think we have became a team that kind of sets back, takes the punches, and figures the other team out. We measure them. We diagnose them for a quarter or so, and then we kind of find the way and the plan to take it to them. I like fast starts. I like to see the team come out of the locker room, get up and down the floor. Even though you're a half-court team like we basically are, there's no reason we can't get out here and really push the ball and have some momentum. I like to see us set back a little bit, but as the game wore on last night, I noticed, and I made the comment, we need to get moving here. We need to find something. We need to get some momentum. And when we found that momentum, Michael struck a few times there. Jackson hit a few shots and kind of got the momentum going for us, and that seemed to turn it on. So the fast pace later in the game turned the corner for us and got us back the lead.
Well, on the other hand, Perry Central has gone through their share of struggles thus far, coming in with a record of 5-7 overall on the year. Matt Carter has watched his team struggle throughout the course of the season thus far, but against some very quality competition and really some good programs that have established themselves over the past several seasons and some that are on the rise, Joe. When you look at the volume of work that they've been able to do, they've already played teams like Evansville, they faced Crawford once in the regular season. That was their one loss in the Patoka Lake thus far, and again in a holiday tourney setting. And then they've already faced a 1A power over the last couple of years in Wood Memorial, who's been in the top 5 of 1A over the past several weeks. So they've got games like that under their belt. But on the flip side, when you look at their wins, it's really hard to get a good pulse of this Perry Central team because 2 of their wins have come over the Cannleton Bulldogs program. That traditionally tends to struggle a little bit as a smaller school there in southern Indiana. And then their lone conference win was against the Springs Valley team that, though they're aggressive and I think much improved under the direction of Michael Leitzman, they barely beat them at home and that was without the likes of the scoring and rebounding machine, senior O'Brien Selby, who did not play in that matchup with the Commodores. So, with all that aside, Joe, you got to look at the Senators tonight, coming off of a big win on the road. How much do they have left in the tank? It's cliche, but you got to play these back-to-back weekends, hopefully later on in the season and in the tournament, if you want to capture some postseason glory. So what do the Senators have to do here tonight? What's the biggest thing for them to pull out a win against Perry and move to 3-0 in the conference?
I think first off, we've got to start fast. We've got to play up-tempo basketball and see if we can create them to play what kind of game maybe we want to change up and play a little bit. We've got to be confident. You know, if we miss a few shots, we've got to have a short memory, and we got to have quick turnaround and come back and get the ball up the floor. We can't be hanging our heads. We've got to control the boards like we did last night. That's something that should be the norm in Senator Nation. We should control the boards on a nightly, gamely basis against anybody we play. And we've got to be fundamentally strong. We've got to be strong with the ball, and we've got to be intense all the time. The last second shots at the end of the quarters, we get intense, and you see the arms jerking and the fist firing. You got to play that way for 32 minutes.
Well, as always, we want to take a moment here during our Senator Tip-Off pregame show, brought to you by John Jones GM City. They're on the east side of town as you head out Highway 60. To thank you for tuning in to not only our Senator Tip-Off pregame show, but to tonight's complete coverage of Senator basketball here on 1220, and also with our live stream feed. If you go to WW Senator Radio on Facebook, or like us on Facebook, or join us on Twitter, you can find the link for tonight's game with the Commodores and the Senators. We're happy to have you along as always. And of course, a big shout out and special thank you to all the sponsors that make this and every broadcast of Senator basketball possible. And those sponsors include our pregame show sponsor tonight, and as always, John Jones GM City, Eddie Gilstrap Motors. They'll bring you our Senator halftime report, and then Ace Hardware will bring you our full post-game show coverage, our full wrap-up of tonight's events, as well as sponsors including McDonald's, Meadowview Healthcare, and Salem Crossing. They're in town, all 6 incredible sponsors, and we appreciate them being along for the ride this season with Senator basketball. We'll continue with more of our Senator Tip-Off pregame show. As we step aside and take a break, we wind down to the opening tip here tonight. About 6.5 minutes to go in the warm-ups. We'll step aside, take a break, hear a word from the Indiana High School Athletic Association, and we'll come back with more right after these words.
The purest, most riveting presentation of high school sports in America. From Anderson to Attica, Kendallville to Kokomo, follow the high school sports that make our state great all season long. Thank you, Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, and welcome home.
Back here for more of our Senator Tip-Off pregame show. Do not have an interview tonight following last night's game, so we'll roll on with more of our pregame. About 4.5 minutes till they run through the starting lineups, have the anthem and such. Tonight, the Senators wearing some new home white threads, courtesy of our armed forces. Special night here. Some members of our armed forces or military here tonight on hand, and Sam Borka will be playing a solo of the national anthem with his saxophone. So a special night on hand. We welcome in the Commodores from Leopold in conference action. Again, the Senators trying to go to 3-0. They're at 2-0 in conference play. Meanwhile, Perry comes in again 1-1 in the conference. They dropped their conference matchup the first go around with Crawford County, a very good team typically, and then was able to pick up a win again over a winless or a team in Springs Valley who had won some conference games, Joe, but had to play that game without O'Brien Selby. So again, we'll be able to see more clearly, hopefully, in the early going here, how that both teams respond. Both of them coming off of big wins, one at home, one on the road. But Perry Central, again, kind of an odd team. They've got some pieces back from the last couple of years, and like I said earlier in the pregame, it'll be interesting to see what kind of fight the Senator team brings.
Yes, this will be interesting tonight. You know, a whole different genre and what's going on here tonight with the military, the National Guard being here. We've got the new threads of Indiana National Guard on the back and on the front. Some of them say honor, integrity, service, respect, loyalty, you know, the basic things that represent the United States of America.
Let's look at some pregame notes quickly. Again, Perry comes in 5-7 overall. The Senators now 9-3 on the year. As we talked about, Perry 1-1 in conference play. West Washington, meanwhile, sitting at 2-0, trying to stay spotless in the standings, hoping for a conference title. And this series over the last 30 years actually the lead belongs to Perry Central. They have won 17 of the 31 meetings. This will be the 32nd meeting over the last 30 years between these two programs. But, Joe, the good news for the Senators, they own a little momentum right now. Mo's on their side because they've won the last two, but just by a combined 7 points. Last year, they get a 4-point win at Perry with a 54-50 victory. That was back on January 8th of last year. But then the year before, if you remember, it was a very interesting and thrilling game. Went to overtime, and it was a 3-point win for the Senators.
Yeah, that was a big one. I remember that night down here on the home end, shooting free throws.
You about choked on your tongue with that dead ball foul, didn't you?
Peyton went over the back, dead ball. We go into overtime. We get the win, but that was a thrilling night, and what a big, you know, these seniors were sophomores then. It's hard to believe, you know, we're already, you know, in that senior year, and we're back here again last time.
Let's run down tonight's keys to victory, brought to you by our pregame show sponsor, John Jones GM City. First and foremost, Joe, they got to continue that post momentum. We got to get our bigs involved early, especially Hunter and Jackson. Hunter had a double-double last night, 15 points, 16 rebounds. Jackson led the way with 17. We'll see if we can take advantage early in the post. Secondly, bench production. We got a really thin rotation now because we only went 7 deep and really only 6 deep last night with the 6 seniors. They got to bring some energy off the bench, and then eyes on the prize. You know, if you can't get fired up for a conference game at home, then there's something wrong with the pulse of the team, and hopefully these guys come out ready to play and can move to 3-0 in the conference.
When you're setting 2-0 in the conference and you're at home for that third game, you know, there isn't nothing that couldn't bring you up anymore. You know, the anxiety ought to be there. You know, the blood pressure ought to be up. The intensity ought to be there. You shouldn't have to even make yourself be that way. It should just came natural when you woke up this morning. You know, your body ought to be telling you, let's go.
Tonight's keys to victory and your Senator Tip-Off pregame show brought to you, as always, by John Jones GM City. Call the fine folks at John Jones by calling 1-877-473-5546. Check them out on the web at johnjonesautogroup.com. Or better yet, you could stop by that beautiful showroom and lot at 1450 South State Road 60 in Salem. John Jones GM City. You see so many because they pay so little. And the boys again in those Indiana National Guard special white uniforms with the gray trim and numbers. It'll be a special night here for the Senators as they pay tribute to our armed service members and a couple of the fine folks from our armed forces here tonight on hand. Joining the cheerleaders, they're bringing down a full-size flag that'll cover the floor and going to have a special beginning ceremony here. Players from both schools, actually, Joe, will come out and help hold this large flag like you see at so many of the NFL and college games now.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to cover the whole floor. Cheerleaders are bringing it down. JV players from West Forest and JV players from Perry Central all lined up with it. You know, the games are one thing, but this is what it's all about.
It is, and it's just, you know, It's the traditions, it's the values, it's the code of ethics that you try to instill into young student athletes that they're wearing across their chest tonight, and you just nailed it. This is what it's really about, you know, showing respect and honor to the people that protect our homeland. And tonight, just a little reflection time for both squads, especially for West Washington, donning those Indiana National Guard outfits, those uniforms, as they bring the flag onto the floor, right down the center of the floor. And the Perry Central Commodore cheerleaders will now come out as well. We're going to step aside, take a break while they play the national anthem, courtesy of Mr. Sam Bortka, and we'll come back with the starting lineups right after this.
Thank you, Sam and the band. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to West Washington High School and the game between your West Washington Senators and the Perry Central Commodores. As members of the Indiana High School Athletic Association, it is our intent to promote sportsmanship and to provide standards for proper behavior at high school athletic events. The Indiana High School Athletic Association has developed guidelines for sportsmanship-like behavior. Coaches, athletes, and
here on Senator Radio broadcast as we got cut off there prior to the national anthem. But again, we thank John Jones for our pregame show coverage, and we're now ready to run down the starting lineup. First, for the Perry Central Commodores, Matt Carter, 115 and 105 in his 10th season in Leopold. They average 55.2, but give up 55.8 their last outing. A win last night at home over the Raiders of Southridge, 53-42 the final. Perry Central comes in 5-7 on the year. They will start a two-guard set. Number 11, Luke Hubert, a senior, averaging 11 points per game in the backcourt with 22. Ty Mullis, a junior, at 6.9 points per contest. 24, Luke Bishop, a junior, averages 9.2 points per game, again on one block. And number 12, Levi Hubert, a sophomore, joins him on the other block at 5 points per game. In the middle, it'll be the big man, Jacob Kelly. He is a senior, averaging nearly 6.5 per contest for Matt Carter's Commodores. Now for the Senators. Senators come in with a record of 9-3 on the year. They average 65.5, but give up 55.5. Their last outing, a big win at Valley in conference play last night, 71-63 the final. They'll start their regular lineup, back to business as usual. Number 4, Michael Sizemore, 6 foot and a senior, 9.6 rebounds per game to lead the team in the rebounding department. Number 12, Noah Green, 6'3" and a senior, 14 points, 5 rebounds per contest for Green. Up front, Peyton back into the lineup. Peyton Walker, number 30, is a 6'4" senior at 11 points, 4.5 rebounds per game, along with 24, Hunter Sanford, the other forward, who is 6'5" and a senior at 13.5 points per game. And the Iceman, number 54, Jackson Burns, 6'4" and a senior, starts in the middle, 11 points, 4.5 rebounds per game for the Senators, trying to go to 3-0 in conference play. Tonight's Indiana High School Athletic Association officials are Mr. Tim Stroud, Rick Jackson, and Jeff Morning. Senators in those home white threads, but a little bit different look as they are the Indiana National Guard uniforms, all white trimmed in black and camo gray, as they have those camo letters and numerals, and then the black lettering across the back of the jersey saying Indiana National Guard. Perry in those traditional away threads, those solid green uniforms trimmed in white letters and numerals. And Mr. Rick Jackson will step to the center court, and it'll be Hunter Sanford and Jacob Kelly set to tip things off here on 1220. Senators back in the friendly confines, going from left to right on that 1220 AM dial. Glad you could join us on the radio or through live stream here tonight. Misty Jones alongside of Joe Walker, Craig Aker running stats and live stream as we're underway. Senators control the opening tip. See what they get on this first possession. And it's a quick basket by Hunter Sanford. Deja vu from last night, Joe, as the Senators strike first.
Good cut off the other base, off the other side of the elbow, rolled around into the lane, caught the ball at the block.
Back to the other end. Bishop gives it out top to Luke Hubert. Sends it over to the wing. Ball over to Mullis, right back. It goes to Bishop. And Perry will be patient. A little 3-out, 2-in motion style set. They'll switch the guards on the wings and go to the corner instead. Bishop with the shot in and out, no good from the corner. Green clears the rebound. Michael in business, feeds to Peyton in the front court, stops, feeds immediately to Jackson in the break. Jackson turns, misses it off the edge of the rim, but Noah comes out with the offensive board. Hunter right back down low to Jackson again, and he misses another one at the rim. This one rolling in and out as well. Trying to get Jackson going as well. We've got Hunter already in the books with his first two, and that was one of our keys to victory, was to get those two guys going like we did last night. Deep three on the way, in and out, no good for Ty Mullis. And again, we see the Senators giving up a big offensive board. Second chance points for the Commodores come on a three-pointer by Luke Hubert.
It's too many chances down there, Misty. We got to get people sealed off underneath, and even the long rebounds. We ought to be blocking that three ball out.
We'll keep track of that tonight, Joe. Try to keep track of those second chance points. Nice feed underneath from Green to Sanford on that backdoor cut that they love to run in the half court. Senators with the lead once again at 4-3. Already two lead changes in this one.
Ought to be able to find Hunter down there underneath at will.
Senators go to a 1-3-1 look. Michael in the back, Hunter up top with Green and Walker on the wings, Burn in the middle. They force a miss. Michael will push, 3-on-3 break, and he'll pull it back out and decides that's not the numbers he's looking for. They immediately go to Hunter in the post, turn, spins, off balance shot, won't go. Got his own offensive rebound. Got bumped. Thought we were going to get an and one. Joe almost had it called. Tim Stroud with the call. This will be our first foul of the night, and it will go against the Commodores.
Hunter's got that axe out, Misty, and he's chopping wood. He's ready to play.
First foul of the night goes on Levi Hubert, and it sends Hunter Sanford to the line, where last night he was also pretty successful. Again, the team shot 17 of 21 alone in the fourth quarter, Joe.
Yeah, that's a good night.
Hunter got both of them to fall on the year. He's about a 74% free throw shooter. He's got all 6 for the Senators, and they have a 6-3 advantage. Facing that 1-3-1 pressure, Coach Carter's got it scouted out, goes with the traditional Indiana Hoosiers look with that little 2-1-2 in the half court. Kelly with an offensive rebound, second chance points opportunity come again. Mullis with the pump fake, pulls up, 15-foot jumper will go from the elbow. And Joe,
we got to be stronger down there on the offensive board. We got to go up and want it more.
Their first 5 points of the night are off of offensive rebound putbacks or second chance opportunities. So 5 points already in that category, and the Senators struggling to clear the glass here on the defensive end. 3 minutes gone by. First quarter of play from Camelsburg here in the friendly confines. Haven't been here since December 9th, and Hunter goes back to work as he continues to chop with that axe that Joe was talking about. Puts the offensive pressure on the Commodores, keeps it on there. They lead it 8-5 early on.
Well,
Kelly with the kick out, 3-ball on the way. No good for Luke Bishop. Peyton pulls down the defensive rebound. Michael in the front court, gives it up to Hunter. They'll try to go back to Jackson. Can't get it to him, so they'll reverse it through. And a little flex cut look as Perry Central's opened up in a little man-to-man defense underneath. Hunter nowhere to go, gives it up. Beautiful feed to Peyton, and Peyton on the board early. And the Senators come out strong. It's a 30-second timeout by Matt Carter and the Commodores in this first period of play. With 4:27 to go, Senators have the Commodores doubled up at 10-5, Joe.
They can come up lame again. I don't know what's going on now. He's over here shaking his hand. Went up. He didn't get fouled, I didn't think.
May got a jammed finger or a jammed thumb, not for sure. But again, we want to remind fans of our great sponsors. John Jones bringing you our pregame show coverage. Senator Halftime Report will be courtesy of Eddie Gilstrap Motors just south of the square in Salem. And then our complete postgame wrap-up will be courtesy of Ace Hardware of Salem. Be sure to stop in and check out their new January bargains of the month, as well as McDonald's, Salem Crossing, and Meadowview Healthcare. But a solid start for the Senators as an early substitution is placed in. It'll be Bryce Farmer coming in, who started last night for Peyton, who had been ill, and Hunter going to check out as they'll give him a breather. 8 of the team's first 10 points.
I thought that Bryce was coming in for Peyton for whatever was going on with the hand.
Senators come out in a little run and jump, more of a pressure situation. Sometimes that 1-3-1 is more of a laid-back version, but they come out of that timeout all over the Commodores. Shot missed underneath, won't go. Rebound cleared off by Byrne. He gives it up to Michael. Senators back in business at the halfway point of this first quarter. Michael goes strong to the hoop, can't get the shot. We'll have a foul first on the floor, and we'll have
Michael recognized he had Mullis on his hip.
Mullis picks up his first, team foul number 2 on the Commodores. Senators yet to commit a personal. They try to get Byrne on the rollback. Instead, they go to Green, uses a couple dribbles, tried to force feed it. First turnover of the night for either club. Back to action. Luke Hubert feeds underneath to Cage Kiplinger, a junior at 7 points per game who just checked in. Hunter Sanford's going to come in and give the Iceman Jackson Byrne a well-deserved breather. 3:46 to play first quarter. Senators still have the Commodores doubled up at 10-5. Perry Central ball under their own basket. A little 1-4 low set. Screens across. Mullis gets it. Kicks it out quickly to Kiplinger. He'll work the dribble against Peyton as the Senators settle into a little man-to-man nickel defense here in the half court. With the dribble, Luke Hubert gets into the paint, forces a little 14-foot jumper contested by Michael, and Hunter clears the defensive glass. Gives it up to Michael as he'll race it down the court across the timeline. And the Senators go back to work against the man-to-man as we'll see the flex, or at least one flex cut. And we'll see another backdoor. Nice screen by Bryce. Frees up Hunter Sanford. And a nice feed from the wing as Sanford now already into double figures with 10. 12-5, largest lead thus far for the Senators. But to the other end, a quick 3 by Luke Bishop gives the Commodores their second triple of the night. Make it now a 12-8 ball game as we dip under 3 minutes to go, first period of play. Sizemore with it, off to Peyton, shoots it deep from Livonia, won't get it to go. Rebound comes off though to Kiplinger. He'll leave it for Mullis, and Mullis will bring it up now. Be met by Bryce as he comes into the front court. Right side, controls, brings it across to the near side to Hubert. Now in the corner it goes to Bishop. Got Luke Bishop and Luke Hubert both out there at times tonight, so we'll keep the Luke straight, or at least try to. Reverse pass back out top to Hubert. Between the circles it goes. Now on the wing to Mullis on that right side. Senators pretty stingy in the man-to-man.
Got to watch this back screen over here coming from the block.
Run a little back screen. They roll a little guy to the high post, trying to get a little high-low action. Can't get anything. Kelly forced to give it back up to Luke Hubert. They'll get him on a pick and roll now. Stockton Malone style, and Peyton swats it out of there. Nearly deflates the rock. In transition, Green to Hunter out of control.
There's no way that's a charge.
No one on the Senators.
Everybody was still in transition coming down the floor.
Sure didn't look like it. Now, he may have been in a restricted area if we had that, like the NBA or college ranks, but didn't look like he may have been back. So that'll go as turnover number 2, and the player control will go against Hunter, team's first foul of the night.
Too many players running down the floor there. 3 defensive, and Hunter, they were all with him running.
Back to a 1-3-1. Bryce out top of it now. Now Sanford and Green on the wings. Byrne in the middle. And Michael in the back of that 1-3-1 trap, being a little more aggressive with it. They'll skip it cross court in the corner. 3 for Kiplinger, won't go. Rebound fought for, and Noah comes out of there with it. He'll clear, bring it up himself in traffic against Adam Doby, a great football player for the Commodores football program, and Coach Greg Gibson. And they'll try to go back screen again. Instead, they go to Hunter. Nice spin move at the rack, in and out, no good. Won't go off the back iron. Nice rebound controlled by the Commodores. Levi Hubert with the strong board. He'll leave it off for Luke Hubert. So we got 2 Lukes, and we got a couple of different Huberts out there. Actually, 3 of them on the roster. Luke, Ryan, and Levi. Making it a family affair. Commodores trying to hang tough here in this first quarter, down 12-8, 65 seconds and counting in this first period of play. Bryce gambles, nearly gets the steal against Luke Hubert. He'll drive in, split 2 defenders, goes off the window. And the Senators will pick up a reach-in foul. This will be team foul number 2. Tim Stroud with the call. Foul will be whistled against.
Okay, when you gamble, when you gamble like Bryce did, almost got the steal, and you get the dribble drive down the lane, somebody's got to slide over. We got to play defense with our feet. Move over, cut him off. We can't be reaching.
First free throw up and good for Luke Hubert. Perry Central, a 61% team foul shooting-wise on the season thus far, Joe.
63?
61.
61.
Peyton injected back into the lineup for Bryce. He'll catch a break. Hubert's second free throw on the way is good as well. So he's got 5 already. Just like that, it's a 12-10 ball game. Nice little run here and spurt for the Commodores to draw to within 2.
We kind of got in the way a little bit from the recipe of Hunter. And then he missed that one shot and kind of got
Perry's going to try to answer, though, Joe. Maybe pack it in this little 2-3 matchup zone, a little more active with their feet already in the half court, as they know they can't match up with the size of the Senators. But the Iceman puts the hammer down on that offensive trip, and he soaks a 3 from the left wing. Jackson's first points of the night extends the lead back to 5, 15-10, 25 seconds and counting. First period of play. Long skip pass. Peyton's going to tip it out. Ready for the dunk show. Now he laid it up over the front rim. Thought Peyton was going to throw it down. He might not have the legs after being sick. And then he hustles back. What great effort to tip it away. And it's last touch by the Commodores. So first turnover of the night. And Peyton, Johnny on the spot here. Thought he was going to throw that one down. Thought we were going to see the next act of the Flush brothers.
I'm just glad he did what he did.
I think your throat probably swelled up because your heart jumped up into it. He probably afraid he was going to throw that rim and the ball back to the midcourt line. Peyton 3 as time expires. Got it to go.
Yeah.
Peyton bullseye, baby. 20-10. Senators double up the Commodores as time expires at the end of this first quarter. Nice feed. And he is deadly if you leave him alone from the corner. But after 8 minutes of play here in the friendly confines, it's the Senators on top of the Commodores in PLAC action, 20-10, courtesy of 5 straight to end the period by Peyton Walker. We'll step aside. We'll take a break. We'll come back with second quarter action after this. You're listening to the Senators tonight on Salem's 1220.
Make the difference. You can feel it the minute you walk into Meadowview Health and Rehabilitation. Experts in long-term care, not just doing a job, but following a calling. They're here to help you and your family find answers, solutions, and peace of mind. In fact, they become an extension of your family. For more information about Meadowview, visit ascseniorcare.com or call 812-883-4681. That's 812-883-4681.
Back to begin play here in the second quarter. Senators use a nice 5-0 spurt courtesy of Peyton Walker. Got the steal, had the nice run out, threw it over the front of the rim, decided not to slam it home on the wide open breakaway, and then was fed in the corner for a 3 to end the period, making it 20-10 after one quarter. Underneath, though, an offensive rebound put back up and in by number 12, Levi Hubert. His first basket of the night, Joe, and there's 7 second chance points now out of the team's 12.
The ball came off. That's a jump ball. Oh.
Thought it was a jump situation. Jackson come back down with it, though, after he'd already went airborne, so to speak. Third turnover of the night for the Senators. Perry Central giving it up just that one time there at the end of the period. Senators staying with that 1-3-1 that can be so deadly, especially when you got guys that are long and athletic like Hunter out top, Joe.
We got to rotate over and get in these corners, though, with these three-point shooters.
Ball goes on the wing to Doby. Doby trying to dribble out of trouble, nowhere to go as he's trapped at the top of the key. I'll have to give it back up to Hubert. Into the game, John Basher, a junior, for his first minutes of the night. So Perry already going 8 deep. Senators open the quarter with the original 5. Walker, Green, Sanford, Byrne, and Sizemore. And underneath, counted in 1. Nice move by Luke Hubert to get into the paint. Give him 7 now on the night. Looking for point number 8 if he can finish off the old-fashioned three-point play. 20-14 with 6:47 to go. That'll be team foul number 3 against the Senators. They had 2 in that first quarter of play. And they've got it whistled against Noah Green, his first, as Farmer will check in if he makes. Hubert already 2 for 2, making 3 for 3, so he stays perfect for the Commodores overall from the charity stripe. Only one to attempt any thus far in the first half. Green's going to get a break. Farmer back into the lineup. Again, 6:47 and counting, second quarter of play. Senators open the second period with a 20-10 advantage, but it's 5 straight here for the Commodores in this second period.
This is kind of a point where we've got to keep the gas down, Misty. We had that big run and got up 20-10, and now it's back to 20-15. We got to find a way to extend those leads.
5-0 spurt here, though, to start the period in the first minute and a half plus for the Commodores as they continue to battle hard and battle back. High post feed from Farmer to Byrne, who tried to throw it underneath to Michael. They're really trying to expose him in the post a lot, Joe, against teams with weaker point guards. Senators, though, turn it over for the 4th time as they couldn't get it to him.
We've tried to force it 2 times. Once ought to have been enough and get it out of there and reset.
Square peg and a round hole underneath. Wide open layup for Luke Bishop. He's got 5 on the night, and that's going to prompt a timeout from the Senators. It'll be a full timeout on the floor. 5:58 to play in this first half. Senators up 20-17. We'll come back with more second quarter action right after this word from one of our sponsors.
Caring people make the difference. You can feel it the minute you walk into Salem Crossing. Experts in long-term care, not just doing a job, but following a calling. They're here to help you and your family find answers and solutions and peace of mind. In fact, they become an extension of your family. For more information about Salem Crossing, visit ascseniorcare.com or call 812-883-1877. That's 812-883-1877.
Senators not liking what they see out of themselves when they look in the mirror defensively, Joe, as they've given up 7 straight to start the period. Commodores have cut the lead to 3 at 20-17.
That's what I was talking about in the pregame. You know, we hit the big shot at the end of the quarter, and we got the fist a pumping, and everybody's excited. Get over here, and we took a break. and we took a break back on the floor.
Perry with the hot hand to start again. They've reeled off 7 straight through the first almost 2.5 minutes of play in this first period. Hunter, mid-post, had to kick it out to Byrne. Now it's Sizemore working it on the wing. Back to to Jackson. A little two-man game. Back to Michael. Matt Carter wanted a player control against Michael, who cleared some space for himself, and he gets in the paint, gets a little finger roll over the front edge of the rim. Michael scores his first basket of the night, stops the bleeding at 7. Back to the other end, 3 ball in and out, no good for Luke Bishop. And the Senators back in action. Nice step through. Hunter, though, lost the handle, had it stripped away into the other end quickly. Is Levi Hubert, who leaves it off for Mullis, who scores. Make that a 9-2 run now for the Commodores. Mullis gets his second basket, and it's 22-19. 3 minutes gone by in the second period to play.
We've got to be careful. We've got catching ourselves.
Underneath, Peyton, nice strong take. He was able to get through a little slip screen action underneath, Joe.
He almost lost his shirt as he come across the lane. 24. Bishop had a good grasp.
Peyton on the little slip, gets through, finds an opening. They feed the crease, able to get it to Peyton, but he got blocked and fouled at the same time. The foul will go on Kelly, his first. That'll be team foul number 3 against the Commodores in this first half. So each team with 3 personals, as we'll see number 34, John Basher, check out of the ball game. And we'll see their point guard, Luke Hubert, check back in after a little bit of a breather. Peyton Walker to the free throw line. Able to hit the first and the second. 61% free throw shooter on the year. Give Peyton now 9 already in this first half. A big into the first quarter for him, and it's 24-19, back to a 5-point advantage. Senators will extend pressure here. They're going to go a little
man-to-man again.
Spread, but they'll bring their guys from the corner into the short corner. And Perry content to slow things down. Matt Carter probably wouldn't care if this game stayed in the 40s or 50s. He don't want to see it get too out of control because he knows that's probably a game that does not suit this Perry Central club.
Thought we had Luke Hubert there in trouble at the wing.
Got a trap on. They get it to Mullis out front. Now to Hubert on the wing, wide open. 3 ball in and out, no good, but Mullis there with the rebound. Little jumper, 10-foot floater won't go. Another offensive rebound attempt.
Second chance.
It's going to be last touch. Noah was there fighting for the rebound with Levi Hubert. It's last touch by Noah as they fought for it going out of bounds. Farmer will check in. Byrne will have a seat. Senators have got to start getting a butt-to-gut and checking guys off the board.
That's the thing we're doing. We got good leapers. We got good athletes. We can go get the ball, but we've got to seal him off first.
Can't always count on just athleticism as the Senators go back to work defensively. So this would be second chance points again in that category for those of you keeping tally at home. Perry Central already with 7 second chance points here in this first half.
We got to stay awake back here on the back line. That's what they want to work for.
Mullis drives in, lost the handle and traveled. Thought he might have double dribbled first as he started to fall to the floor. That'll be turnover number 2 of the night for the Commodores. Senators have committed 5 in that department.
That offense that Perry Central's playing there, they got the 3 guys up high and the 2 low. They're wanting to drift us up. If they can get us man-to-man 3, and then get one of the wings to come up towards the elbow, that's when they feel they could burn us.
Senators back to work, this time against man-to-man, so we've seen a matchup 2-3, a little compressed, though, by Perry Central, a man-to-man pressure as Hunter gets another basket to fall. Give him 12 now in the first half, 26-19, largest lead of the first half for the Senators, or excuse me, second largest. They were up 20-10. They're late. And at the end of the first quarter of play, Kelly, short corner jumper, left side won't go. Michael clears the defensive board, surveys the damage, doesn't feed, instead brings it himself into the front court. Now give it up to Peyton on the right wing and gets it right back. 3 minutes and counting, second quarter of play. 26-19, Senators enjoying a 7-point lead, their second largest of the night. Michael, little dribble handoff from the high post, and he'll get tripped and knocked to the deck. And it's going to go on Luke Hubert. That'll be his first team foul, number 4.
Michael scared me there. I thought he slipped. I thought it was going to be a travel.
Michael will inbound right in front of the Perry Central bench. As he gets it into Noah. Noah will be picked up by Kelly. So a big coming out. Put some pressure on Noah on the perimeter. They give it up to Bryce. Farmer Farmer with it on the wing, gives it back now to Michael. Right back to Green on that left wing as he's still picked up by Kelly. Perry stays with a man-to-man on this trip. 2.5 to play.
We're a little stale here, Misty. We need to get back in that flex cut.
It's only so many times, Joe, you can stand down on the perimeter and play pitch and catch. Got to attack the rim, and Michael will do that. Nice dribble handoff. Nice offensive rebound, back up and in, though. Peyton cleaning up some offensive boards on that trip. And we'll have a foul by Farmer on the steal attempt. Team foul number 4 for the Senators. But again, that was a nice set of ball movement there in the last couple of exchanges, passes there on that last possession. Joe got a good ball reversal, got it in the high post, what you want to see. Give yourself a chance for a little high-low action instead. We see that dribble handoff or that exchange at the high post with Michael, which was successful on a few trips last night down at Springs Valley.
Yeah, that's what we need to do. We got to mix it up and get some bodies moving around, lose track of some people.
Senators working pressure here. Cam Zink's checked in to give Michael a breather. Zink's first minutes of the night, a 5'7" junior, playing quite a bit in the JV contest tonight. Coach Clayton Sullivan's nice swat into the second row. Hunter Sanford there to reject the little jumper by Hubert. And we'll see Michael check right back in. A little spot appearance for Zink. He got about a minute and a half maybe of playing time, enough to give Michael a short breather. Minute 46 to play, 1-4 low set again for the Commodores. Ball sent out top. Luke Bishop with it, gives it off now to Mullis on the right wing, looking for a screen from Hubert instead. Gives it up now to Kelly. He'll give it right back to Hubert on the perimeter. They'll try to go pick and roll Stockton Malone style again. Can't get the roll, so they'll have to give it out. Can't even get a pick and pop out of it, Joe, as the Senators staying pretty stingy this time down on defense as well. Kelly will try a deep three against Byrne. It won't go, and clearing that long rebound, tracking it to the corner was Sanford. Sizemore now into the front court. 73 seconds and counting underneath. Byrne, he'll be fouled. Perry wanted a travel first. So did the cheerleader on the baseline, trying to help out Tim Stroud. Instead, we'll have a foul on Luke Hubert. That'll be his second personal. Team foul number 5. And we'll see number 22. That's Ty Mullis check out. The junior guard will take a break. And we'll see Cage Kiplinger, a junior classmate, check back in for him as we roll up on a minute to play here in this first half. 28-19, and the Senators throw it away. Miscommunication there. Turnover number 4 of the quarter, 6th of the half for the Senators.
It ended up with the ball in Hunter's hands up at the top, and Hunter kept dribbling back. Michael was trying to post. Michael couldn't get posted, and nobody'd make up their mind to come take the ball from Hunter, and they actually forced Hunter into making the turnover.
Green will get a breather. Zink will come back in. So 4 seniors and a junior on the floor right now for the Senators under a minute to play first half. 28-19. Senators out in front. Perry had one brief lead on the exchange early at 3-2 before the Senators answered right back with another basket by Hunter Sanford. Trying to close out the quarter on a strong defensive note. Let's see what they get in this defensive possession.
They got him.
Hubert's going to sail one almost out of bounds to Bishop, who had to sky to save the possession. Hubert with it. Little handoff out front to Cage Kiplinger. Back to Hubert on that right wing, picked up by Zink. Senators working a little Vegas 3-2 here, and a three-pointer for Hubert.
That's their guy right there.
That's his
Luke
second
Hubert.
Triple of the night. 28-22. Let's see if the Senators can capitalize. About 15 seconds to play here in the half as they try to close out this first 16 minutes on a positive note. 7 seconds, going to have to roll. Jackson in the high post, back to Michael. Look, surveys the damage. He'll pull up a contested three. Got it to go. Big three for Michael as time expires. That's back-to-back threes to end each quarter. One for Peyton at the end of the first, one for Michael at the end of the half, and we'll roll into intermission with the Senators owning a 31-22 lead. Clutch three by Captain Clutch. Michael Sizemore to extend the advantage to 9 for West Washington at the break. We'll step aside, start crunching some numbers, and we'll come back to begin our post-game report brought to you by the fine folks just south of the square in Salem at Eddie Gilstrap Motors. We'll come back with that halftime report right after this.
Donald
Gymnasium for tonight's game. It's time to introduce the starting lineup, and the crowd is on their feet, and they're going wild. And here comes the new players. We've got the premium quarter pounders coming in tonight, alongside the chicken classic sandwiches. Playing forward tonight, we have got one-of-a-kind McWrap. Guarding your hunger, it looks like we've got McDouble and McChicken coming in. And starting in the center court tonight will be Big Mac. Look on the sideline, folks. We have Chicken McNuggets cheering tonight alongside those golden delicious fries. Hot and always ready. You'll score points every time you bring the family into Salem McDonald's, right here on Main Street, before or after the game. Don't forget to top off your favorite meal with a cold soft drink, that famous Mickey D sweet tea, or something from their full line of smoothies and McCafe coffee drinks. Order inside from 4 a.m. to 11, or get that one-of-a-kind taste 24 hours at the drive-thru. McDonald's, I'm loving it. Head on down to Eddie Gilstrap Motors in Salem and get your new or used Ford, Ram, Chrysler, Dodge, or Jeep. Stop in the new office at 207 South Main Street right here in Salem for the best deals in the Kentuckiana area. See Steve, Travis, or Neil and give them an idea of what you're looking for. Whether it's new or used, the guys at Eddie Gilstrap Motors will work hard to put you in the ride of your life. Check out the new Ford and Ram trucks, as well as their new crossovers and SUVs. Or if new is not in your budget, the no-pressure guys at Eddie Gilstrap Motors will help you find a certified pre-owned vehicle. Stop in Eddie Gilstrap Motors for the best deals in the Kentuckiana area. Call today at 812-883-3481 or check them out online at eddiegilstrapmotors.com. Don't forget the body shop and come see the all-new Detail Center and speak to Brian Fisher about what he can do for all your detailing needs.
Back to begin our Eddie Gilstrap Motors halftime report. Senators lead it here at the break, 31-22, led by as many as 10 in that first half of play at the conclusion of that first quarter, and then built the lead back up to 7 there late before a big three on an exchange late in that second quarter by Michael Sizemore led to this 9-point advantage for West Washington, trying again to go to 3-0 in conference play. Let's look at the scoring for both of these clubs. First, for the Perry Central Commodores, they play 8 different guys in that first 16 minutes of action, and of those 8 players, 4 of them able to tally. Luke Hubert leads the way with 11 points for the Commodores, which is right on his average, Joe, of 11 points per game. Ty Mullis with 4. Levi Hubert chips in 2. Luke Bishop with 5 points. We'll have a half-court shot. We'll take a break here. Ryan Batt shooting the first Harrison half-court shot for $1,400. It looked good, but just left it short. Back to the scoring, though. The other 4 players that get in do not tally. Jacob Kelly, John Basher, Cage Kiplinger, and Adam Doby all play for Matt Carter, but do not tally in that 8-man rotation for the Commodores. They go 3 for 3, perfect from the charity stripe for 100%, commit just 2 turnovers in that department. They did have 7 second chance points, though, a stat we're keeping a close eye on here tonight, because the Senators struggled a little bit cleaning up the glass with O'Brien, Selby, and Whitaker both in the game last night for the Hawks. Couldn't keep them off the boards, and they've struggled a little bit early, doing the same here tonight against the Commodores. Meanwhile, for West Washington here at the half, they get 2 guys in double figures through the first 16 minutes of play. Hunter Sanford leads the way with 12 points, 10 of those 12 coming in the first quarter of action. Peyton Walker with 11 through 16 minutes of action. Had that big 5-0 spurt by himself to close out the first quarter of play. Now that big 3-pointer and had that breakaway bucket as well. But 11 points total for him in the first half. Michael Sizemore with 5 all in the second quarter, including the big 3 at the end of the half. Noah Green started but did not score, and Jackson Burns chipped in a lone 3-point make in the first quarter. Bryce Farmer, Camden Zink both play off the bench thus far, but neither one of those players able to tally for the Senators, who are also perfect from the charity stripe at 4 of 4 for 100% and they had 6 turnovers, with 4 of those 6 coming in that second quarter of play. After the first stop, again, 20-10 was your score. Senators, though, outscored 12-11 in that second period, but still good enough for a 9-point edge at 31-22 here at the half. We'll step aside, take a quick break, and we'll come back with more of our halftime report right after this.
New wood floors and granite countertops, so I went to Ace to find out what I should clean them with.
A lot of people come in asking that. I showed Letitia our cleaning section and pointed out our best brands like Bona and Granite Gold.
Ace is the place that has cleaning covered from floor to ceiling and even does windows.
During January, Ace Rewards members save on select Bona, Windex, Glad, Clorox, and Ziploc. Start the new year with a clean and organized home with help from
Back to continue on more of our halftime report, brought to you by Eddie Gilstrap Motors, just south of the square in Salem. Check out their lot on the east side of the main drag there coming off of the square. Or if you need service or you need your vehicle maintenance, you could check out the other side of the road. Go see all of the good folks over at the service center and over at the shop, and they'll take good care of your vehicle to get you through the rest of the winter months as we look forward to some nice spring weather down the road. Joe, you've got first half statistics as far as the team numbers are concerned.
Yeah, from the Senators from the floor, from 2-point range, they were 9 of 14 at 64%. 3-point range, they were 3 for 4 at 75%. Overall, the Senators were 12 of 18 at 66% from the floor. The Commodores were 5 of 11 from 2-point range at 45%. 3 of 11 from 3-point range at 27%. Overall, from the floor, the Commodores were 8 of 22 for 36%. Rebounding, the Senators had 3 offensive boards, 10 defensive boards for a total of 13. And the Perry Central Commodores had 4 offensive boards and 3 defensive boards for a total of 7. Only little glitch on the map I see tonight was just the 4 offensive boards that Perry Central had. Those second chance points really kept them kind of in the game a little bit here. If we scratch them off, we're probably up about 12 to 14 points.
4 offensive boards, 7 second chance points, just enough to keep Perry Central in contention here. 31-22, though they trail it at the half to the host Senators as we continue on with our halftime report. And before we go to our final break and get ready for third quarter action, Jimmy Strange sent me a text, said, "Go Houston, go Texans." He must be a big Texans fan. Maybe he's just a Tom Brady hater. We're not sure, but not so sure I don't agree with him there. I wouldn't mind seeing a matchup of the Steelers and Cowboys or the Steelers and the Packers in the Super Bowl.
From what I think and what I believe, that Pittsburgh is the only team that keeps the Patriots out of it. I think the Steelers are just good enough offensively to outscore them, and I think they're just good enough, or maybe just a little bit better defensively, to hold Brady down.
Well, we'll see. Games in action this weekend in the division.
Caring people make the difference. You can feel it the minute you walk into Meadowview Health and Rehabilitation. Experts in long-term care, not just doing a job, but following a calling. They're here to help you and your family find answers, solutions, and peace of mind. In fact, they become an extension of your family. For more information about Meadowview, visit ascseniorcare.com or call 812-883-4681. That's 812-883-4681.
Back to begin the third quarter of play inside the friendly confines. Senators leading at 31-22 as we open up second half play.
That's
Jones
a way to play it. Good fundamental, pass the ball, get the screen underneath. Oh,
Basket to start the quarter for West Washington by Jackson Byrne. Give him 5 in the game. The Senators with their largest lead, Joe, at 33-22.
They had 2 offensive rebounds right there, Misty, back to back, and I was kind of getting frustrated, but the thing that makes it better is number 11, Luke Hubert, just picked his 3rd foul up.
3rd on Hubert as the Commodores struggle not on the offensive glass, but to maintain possession as they give it up for the 3rd time tonight. And then Hubert picks up his 3rd on a foul against Michael. So we'll keep an eye on that situation and see how long Coach Carter rolls the dice with his point guard and one of his leading scorers out there on the floor.
He didn't seem to even make a move to look at the bench.
Knows he's just got to have his guys in there. He's got to trust that they know what they're doing to keep them in contention here. Nice feed, backdoor cut by Peyton.
That's his 4th.
Got the feed, and he is going to reach in and be whistled for his 4th personal, so that will prompt Coach Carter to dig into his bench. Again, he went with an 8-man rotation. Hubert's going to set for quite a while. Coach Carter not real thrilled with the personal, and Kiplinger going to come back in for the Commodores after this first free throw. Peyton gets fouled on the little give and go. Hunter got the feed, found Peyton cutting to the basket through the paint. 57 seconds into the period, and Peyton back to work at the free throw line where he's now 3 of 3 on the night. 34-22. Largest lead of the night continues to swell for the Senators.
That was a good look by Hunter. He turned. He could have done a little dipsy-do and went around the defender and maybe threw up something he didn't have a quite handle on. Seen Peyton cutting down the lane. Nice cut from Peyton. Don't see that often from Peyton, but he's kind of grew into that.
Senators extend that lead to 35-22 as Peyton stays perfect. Commodores turn it over. 4th turnover leads to a basket at the other end by Hunter Sanford, who now has 14 in the game. And again, that lead continues to swell. Now a 15-point advantage as they continue to extend half-court pressure with the trap. Underneath, nice feed to a cutting Jacob Kelly. Maybe had it partially blocked in transition. Michael leads the pack, feeds underneath to Hunter, who couldn't handle it. Maybe just a half second late on the feed. Michael will go over and say, sorry, bro, my bad, as he throws it over into the 4th row of the band section. And that'll be turnover number 7 on the night for West Washington. Jimmy Strange gives us a score update. Patriots up early, 14-3. He don't like the sound of that. Maybe he'll keep us updated through the night. Back to work at the other end. Commodores short on the 3 by Kiplinger. Michael will race into the front court, gives it to Byrne. Probably not the guy you want to get it to, though, trying to thread the needle in traffic.
That's just a kind of a couple forced passes trying to get something easy, which I understand that. That's what you're trying to do.
So Michael, a couple of turnovers here, and underneath, a shot blocked by Green as he was able to swat Levi Hubert.
Didn't really have the numbers there on that one. Jackson was running down the middle of the floor. Michael had 2 Commodores all over him. He got the ball to him, but it was just a little bit too low for him to handle.
Underneath, another good look, and Kelly unable to finish at the rack. And it's going to be a jump ball tie-up. Michael thought he got clobbered.
I did too.
Alternating possession.
I might be a little biased.
5:57 to play in a little bit. 5:57 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Hey,
Ball will go to Perry Central.
I know
the
my
ball.
colors.
Little dribble handoff from Kelly to Levi Hubert on the baseline, trapped and nowhere to go with it was Kiplinger. He gives it off to Mullis. Mullis gets into the high post, kicks it out. Patience by the Commodores on this trip. Coming up on 2.5 minutes gone by here in the period. Spin move, Kiplinger had it blocked. That's 2 big blocks here in the quarter already for Noah Green. Might have took a little little mule kick to the shin. He hobbles around. Commodores will reset in that 1-4 low baseline look. They'll get it to Kiplinger, who kicks it out quickly to Levi Hubert. Nowhere to go with it. We'll see Bryce check in for the Senators on the next dead ball situation. Mullis has it. Kicks it back out top to Luke Bishop. And a double dribble out front. Whistled by Tim Stroud. That'll bring Bryce Farmer in. And that will give Michael a break after a couple of turnovers. They'll let him sit down and catch his breath and think about it a little bit. 5:25 to go in 3rd quarter, 37-22. As the Commodores, Joe, now have 5 turnovers.
I think what we got a key on defensively now is number 24, Bishop. He's probably the shooter they have on the floor right now with Hubert on the bench.
Want to keep tabs on Jacob Kelly as well, the big man for the Commodores. He's had a couple of looks right at the rack, though. Just can't get it to fall at bad angles. Hunter will drive, spin, goes strong, had it partially blocked, goes off the foam at the bottom of the rim. And in order here, the Perry Central Commodores trying to scrape together something on the offensive end as they let their troops settle in the half court and go to work against the Senator man-to-man defense. 4:44 and counting, third quarter of play. Senators up by 15, their largest lead of the night. I have a Senator foul, maybe a hold. This one's going to go on Farmer. The water bug, Bryce Farmer, picks up his second personal. That's the first of the half. Whistled against the Senators. Sizemore will check back in. Now Noah will get a quick breather. 2 personals against the Commodores. 1 whistled against the Senators thus far in the period.
We need to get a little sharper down here on the offensive end. We've made 3 trips come up empty.
Nice block. Tandem block by the Splash brothers. Peyton and Hunter both there.
We're forcing too much. There's
and
no
now
sense
we got
in
a
this.
Senator turnover, their 9th. Going to be a timeout, a full timeout on the floor by West Washington with 4:28 to play in the third quarter. 37-22. We'll step aside and take a timeout as well. You're listening to the Senators tonight on Salem's 1220 and following us on live stream through Facebook and Twitter. Back with more right after this.
I'm here at John Jones GM City in Salem, Indiana, and I'm talking with sales manager Troy C.
Start your year off strong and treat yourself to a brand new 2017 Chevy Silverado at John Jones GM City in Salem. Pick your truck and save over $7,000 on select models. If it's a nicer, newer car you're wanting, drive the all-new 2017 Chevy Cruze hatchback. Listen to this. Sign and drive 39-month lease, only $174 per month. 0 security deposit, 0 down payment, 0 first payment. That's 0 money from you and a brand new car in your driveway. We also have hundreds of really nice local trade-in, many priced under $5,000. Start your year off strong and start it at John Jones GM City, 1450 South Highway 60, Salem, Indiana. Call 1-800-I-SELL-GM or visit us online anytime at johnjonesautogroup.com.
John Jones GM City. You see so many because they paid so little.
Back to more third quarter action. Senators come out of that timeout with a 1-3-1 look once more as Kelly shoots a muscled 3-pointer from that far corner left side that goes over the rim. Shoots it over the moon and underneath, nice feed. Yeah. And gathering it in was Hunter Sanford. He's now got 16 on the night, Joe.
That pass hit home for Michael. He hit the spot there. Hunter wasn't too deep.
Largest lead now at 17 for the Senators as they try to put this game away in this third quarter. It was a big third quarter and an even larger fourth period last night. In fact, they put up 19 and 27 in the third and fourth quarters over at the Hawks Nest. Most of that, though, from the free throw line. Nice and one opportunity for the smallest guy on the floor, yeah. Ty Mullis. He's got 6, trying to go for 7. And, Joe, that is the first basket of the second half at the 3:44 mark. Says a little bit about our defensive effort here to start the period.
Yeah, we've played really tough. We've played sound. We've stayed where we're supposed to play. We're doing what we're due.
Byrne clears the rebound off the miss by Mullis. Can't finish the old-fashioned three-point play. 39-24. Senators out in front. Peyton has it. Nice spin move. Little left-hand hook floats home for him. Uses up some of the iron, which is kind to him. He's got 15, trailing Hunter. 15 and 16 for the dunk show. The Flush brothers getting it done.
There's
Deep 3, though. There he is, the guy Joe called out. Bishop knocks down the 3, give him 8 now in the contest. 41-27 the score.
We ran away from Michael.
Dangerous pass, and Noah tosses it at the...
Wait, I don't think we recognized that they'd set that press up there.
Noah tosses it at the front court near the timeline. It got tipped away. Last touch by a Commodore. Peyton takes a break. And we see on the floor right now Byrne, Sanford, Green, Sizemore, and Farmer. Doby out there with Mullis, Bishop, Levi Hubert, and number 14, check that, 34, John Basher. Underneath, nice feed from Byrne. to Hunter. Hunter tried to give it back. It was tipped away. Michael thought about a three, gives it off. Nice give and go underneath, and with the adjustment midair, little double pump, Hunter able to finish, give him now 18 on the night, and it's 43-27.
That's a nice play, but Michael dribbles in, draws the defense towards him. Hunter's there floating with him, shadowing him to the hole.
One thing you notice, though, against this Perry Central club, as Mullis knocks down to three, he's got all 5 of Perry's points, or 5 of the 7, rather, in this period. It makes it 43-30. Timeout on the floor. A full timeout for Coach Matt Carter. We'll step aside and I'll finish that thought when we come back. You're listening to the Senators tonight on Salem's 1220.
New wood floors and granite countertops, so I went to Ace to find out what I should clean them with.
A lot of people come in asking that. I showed Letitia our cleaning section and pointed out our best brands like Bona and Granite Gold.
Ace is the place that has cleaning covered from floor to ceiling and even does windows.
During January, Ace Rewards members save on select Bona, Windex, Glad, Clorox, and Ziploc. Start the new year with a clean and organized home with help from Ace Hardware of Salem.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Back to resume play here in the third quarter. 2:27 to go here in the friendly confines. Senators leading at 43-30. But Joe, my thought earlier, Senators have run a lot of 1-3-1 tonight. It's been successful. However, this isn't a team in Perry Central that is attacking the gaps as well, especially from the weak side like we've seen against Bardstown last weekend up at Newcastle, or some of these other schools that maybe we've not been as successful with in that 1-3-1 look.
Yeah, play a little bit of different offense and defense, Perry, especially tonight. And I think something else too is that Coach Carter, his problem tonight, he would probably have liked to have pressed earlier in this third quarter as soon as this run started, but the problem was they couldn't get the ball in the basket.
Jackson finishes at the rim. Last little spin and hook shot. Little baby hook goes for the Iceman. He's got 7 now in the ball game. Minute 43 and counting, third quarter of play. Trapped and nowhere to go with it in the high post was Mullis, who had to give it up to Basher. Basher now stops in the high post. He finds himself in the same spot. Kick it to Mullis. He thought about three.
Cross court.
Skips it cross court to Bishop. Bishop can't get anything open. So we'll go right back to Mullis, pump fake. No three for him, back to Bishop. They're patient. Dobie has it now on the right baseline, short corner. He's in trouble now, trapped by Sizemore and Walker.
Ball
poked away, and it'll stay with Perry Central. 74 seconds to play in the third period. Hunter Sanford checks in, Peyton will check out. So the Senators have played 7, but again, it's a primary rotation of the 6 seniors here tonight. Bishop gets it in, works against Hunter Sanford. He'll go off the dribble, spins, works against Hunter, lost the handle. Coach Carter wanted a call, didn't get it. It looked like he lost control, though, before the contact, although Hunter Sanford did have that arm bar going to the hoop.
Jackson would have picked that off, but he was so content on getting over and cutting it off with his feet.
Nice feed down low. Trapped and nowhere to go was Basher. Should have went up sooner before Jackson rolled over on the help. 59.6 on the clock, 45-30. Senators with a 15-point advantage, leading by as many as 17 at one point in the period. They'll throw it into the backcourt. Dobie will go and get it again. Dobie, an excellent player for Greg Gibson's Commodores, on the gridiron in Leopold. 50 seconds to play now in the period. Patience with the high screen. Try to get a backdoor cut by Dobie. Can't get it to him. Instead, they go back out to Bishop. Mullis has it, controls, works the dribble against Farmer, and Farmer will tie him up. Another hand check. Got to keep that hand off the hip when the player advances the ball to the basket. A little sarcastic cheer and round of applause from the Commodore faithful behind us and to our right. Farmer picks up his third personal. That's team foul, the number 3 here in the half. Mullis gets it in the cross-court baseline pass, inbounded. It goes to Bishop. He had it poked away by Green. 30 seconds to play in the period. Underneath, Basher trying to feed to Luke Bishop, or check that, to Levi Hubert, rather. Ball was poked away again. Senators very active with the hands here. Several deflections tonight. Coach Patino would be licking his chops.
Yeah, and that pass inbounds a while ago to Bishop. If Hunter hadn't have been in that area, gosh darn it. Hunter from behind.
Tried to block a shot from behind. Bad angle to try to take. He'll be called for his second personal, team foul number 4. And with the hoop and the harm, it's Levi Hubert. So he gets his first basket of the period, giving 4 in the game. He'll look for number 5 if he cashes in at the charity stripe. Again, Perry just a 61% free throw shooting squad. Free throw on the way, lets it fly, and it's good, true to form. Perry's only had one mishap, one little hiccup from the charity stripe. 2-on-2 break, Byrne to Sanford. Peyton can't handle it. And it'll go as a turnover, their 10th of the night.
We got 20.4 seconds left, and we're forcing it down the floor with 2 passes against the press. That's exactly what Perry wants to do. They put us in the press, they speed us up.
Now, the good news is for West Washington, they have learned that breaking the press, the most efficient way is via the pass, not the dribble.
Exactly.
But why force it?
Right.
Didn't even have numbers. Close out on the three-point
That's
shot.
Not good.
And Bishop able to capitalize. So back-to-back baskets to end the period for the Commodores brings us to a 45-36 score heading into the 4th and final frame of regulation. We'll see if the Senators can hold on. They trailed by 1 going into the 4th last night, but they own a 9-point advantage here. We'll see if they hang on and hang tough. Senators back to work in the 4th quarter right after this.
For tonight's game, it's time to introduce the starting lineup, and the crowd is on their feet and they're going wild. And here comes the new players. We've got the premium quarter pounders coming in tonight, alongside the chicken classic sandwiches. Playing forward tonight, we have got one-of-a-kind McWrap. Guarding your hunger, it looks like we've got McDouble and McChicken coming in. And starting in the center court tonight will be Big Mac. Look on the sideline, folks. We have Chicken McNuggets cheering tonight alongside those golden delicious fries. Hot and always ready. You'll score points every time you bring the family into Salem McDonald's, right here on Main Street, before or after the game. Don't forget to top off your favorite meal with a cold soft drink, that famous Mickey D sweet tea, or something from their full line of smoothies and McCafe coffee drinks. Order inside from 4 a.m. to 11, or get that one-of-a-kind taste 24 hours at the drive-thru. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Open up the 4th quarter of play. Senators have it to start the 4th as they work with the 9-point advantage. Kick out to Sizemore. Thought about 3, and he'll be whistled for the travel. Rick Jackson with the call. So the Senators open up the 4th with their 5th turnover of the half, 11th of the game. And Joe, as I come back from break and I take a look to my right, Seth Hobson and Jeffrey Birch in the house. A couple of Lions taking in the Senator basketball hoops tonight, as they picked up a big win over Scottsburg in Mid-Southern Conference play last night.
We open the quarter up, we turn it over, and then we come back with a frustration foul. We've got to get our heads together here. It's just 9 points. Hubert's on the bench. They're going to bring him in when they feel necessary.
Dobie nearly turns it over, finds Levi Hubert to get it out of trouble. Half-minute gone by here in the 4th. Senators and Commodores play to a 14-all draw in that 3rd period. Again, the Senators, though, leading at 45-36. Ball deflected away. It'll stay with Perry Central here in the front court.
Was it 3 minutes, 45 seconds to go when Perry put their first points in the hole?
Is at the 3:44 mark.
And we 14-14 in the 3rd.
Yeah. Says something about the way we closed out the quarter defensively, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Dobie with it, picked up by Byrne on the right wing. Ball reversed now on the left side over to Levi Hubert. Mullis cut through the paint. They get it now to Kiplinger. Kiplinger out there with Mullis, Bishop, Levi Hubert, and Dobie for the Commodores to start the period. Peyton kind of fell asleep backside, let Kiplinger slip in for the rebound. Rick Jackson will have a word with Peyton and Kiplinger. They fought for the ball in the tie-up. And Dobie will check out. Kiplinger will check out. And here comes Jacob Kelly and Luke Hubert back in. 2 scoring threats inside and out for the Commodores.
Up 45-30. up 15. Now it's 45-46. We relaxed with that 15-point lead. We just kind of sat back, didn't keep the pressure on.
Turnover for the Commodores, though, their 4th of the half, their 6th of the game. Gives it back to the Senators. They'll run their 3 bigs across the midline, and now they'll run a 3-on-2 fast break, and Hunter will try to take it himself. He'll run up the steps of the bleachers.
I got to tell you
on
something.
The baseline.
At half court, Hunter traveled.
Like he might have took an extra step on his way toward the hoop. And Mullis will pick up his 2nd personal of the night. This will be team foul number 3 whistled against the Commodores. 5 whistled against the Senators in the half thus far. As Hunter goes to the free throw line on the year, a 74% free throw shooter. 34 of 46. First one was up and good, so was the second. So Hunter's big night continues. He's got 20 in the ball game. 47-36, back to a double-digit advantage for the Senators.
We needed those 2 free throws bad. That bucket kind of stopped the bleeding for a minute.
Minute and a half gone by in the 4th. Bishop can't get the 3-pointer to fall from the right wing. Byrne clears the defensive rebound on the weak side. Gives it up to Sizemore, who comes into the front court now with a dribble handoff to Hunter, who gives it right back to him. Payton catches now, left wing. Looks at Byrne in the high post. Lets traffic clear as they'll feed it back around to Sizemore right side to Payton. Now to Green on the left wing. 2 minutes gone by in the period. Hunter with a bad pass trying to feed Payton backdoor. 6th turnover of the half. 12th of the game now for West Washington, who averages right around 12 per game. Hubert back into the ball game. Couldn't get the 3 to go. Nice rebound, though, as 12 was working against 12. And Noah wins the battle against Levi Hubert for the board. Have a timeout on the floor. 30-second timeout, coach, or 30-second timeout, rather, called by the coach. 5:45 to go. With the Senator timeout, while we have a moment, we'll step aside 10 seconds for station identification. Come back with more 4th quarter action.
When you're listening to IU Sports, you need to be locked in on WSLM 97.9 FM, your home for IU Sports.
5:45 to go in regulation, Joe. Senators still not in the clear yet. They lead it by 11, but this Perry Central team has shown that they're not going to give up. Down by as many as 17. They've cut it down a couple of times to within striking distance, but the Senators seem to do just enough to keep them at bay.
Well, when Luke Hubert picked up that 4th foul and went to the bench, that's when I think, that's when we should have went for the throat.
Yeah.
That's when you go and you take somebody down, and we didn't accomplish that.
But then you bring up the fact that, over the last 3:44, after that first basket, finally at the 3:44 mark of the 3rd quarter, the Commodores able to reel off 14 points to match the Senators in that 3rd period, but doing it all in that last 3.5 plus.
Turnover.
And the Senators careless on this possession out of their own timeout. Give it up now for the 13th time in the game. Mullis back to the other end. Little finger roll, looked like Steve Nash slicing through the paint. And Mullis coming alive. He's got 7
I don't understand
in the
where
half.
Michael's at. Why hasn't Michael got the ball right now?
Yeah.
Michael has got to go get the ball.
Tie up on the floor, and we're going to wipe up some perspiration.
We forced, they're pressing us all over the floor. We forced Noah to go get the ball. Noah isn't the point guard. Michael's the point guard, and they double team him and they trap him. He's not used to that. You take him out of his comfort zone.
Michael will mop up some sweat in front of the Perry Central bench as Tim Stroud stops play. And we will resume play. 5:13 to go in regulation. Again, Senators up 47-38.
Now go get it, Michael. There you go.
Mullis has 7 in the half,
I swear to
11
goodness.
in the game. Senators give it up for the 8th time in the half. Hook shot won't go for Bishop. Coach Carter comes up off the bench, throws his head back, knows they missed another golden opportunity. Hunter drives baseline, gives it to Payton, now back to Green. Green underneath to Byrne, turns wide open after the spin move. And the Iceman off the window for 2 more. He's got 9 in the game, and it's 49-38, back to a double-digit lead. Mullis, though, answers with 3. He's starting to heat up. He's got 14 now in the ball game. And the Senators turn it over. The wheels flying off here in the last few possessions. That's now 9 turnovers in the second half.
Yeah. We can't seem to put it away, and then when they put that press on us, we panic. We force things that we can't do.
49-41, 8-point game, still plenty of time to go, Joe. 4:33 and counting.
Yeah, and they can shoot. That's what they've lived off of this whole game is the three-point shot.
I really find it hard to believe, though, we haven't whenever they're in man-to-man, why we haven't tried to attack with Michael against Hubert with those 4 personals and get him out of there. Because if he's not scoring, he's at least creating for this Perry Central club.
Yeah, and right there we had 3 Perry Central Commodores in position for that rebound. The only reason they didn't get it with an easy putback is because it come off funny. It come off fast and low.
Commodores will apply full court pressures. They come up dry on that trip, nearing the halfway point of this 4th period of play. Green and Sizemore safely get it into the front court. Senators will go into their half-court set. They'll work a little high-low with Hunter and Jackson. A lot of traffic in the high and mid-post area, so they'll kick it back out top to Michael, who sends it left side to Green. Now back to Peyton. Ball reversal around the top once more. Around the horn we go. 3:50 and counting in the 4th. Senators have got to be patient. Burns got to be careful. Posting up too long in the paint. Got to make sure we're active with that high-low look and keeping guys out of there. Byrne has his man sealed again. That's Mullis. We got 6'4", 280 working against a guy that at best might be 5'8". That's a good matchup in our favor.
I mean, that's the recipe we have to do. We have to play that way, but the thing is we can't get careless with some of these passes we make out top.
Missed by Levi Hubert gives the Senators another opportunity to build on this lead of 10 at 51-41. Peyton has it, far side right wing, gives it up now out top to Green. Over to Sizemore, left wing. Now they feed down low, and Burns going to draw contact as Kelly, I believe, tried to reach around. Kelly was trying to offer help, as well as Levi Hubert. And Kelly will be whistled for the personal. It'll be his 2nd foul of the night, and this will be team foul number 4. Mullis is going to check out, probably get a really quick breather. Kelly will come out as well. And they'll send Basher back into the ball game along with Kiplinger. Peyton gets it on the long inbounds pass. Michael comes right back with the little handoff. Gets control of the rock. 3 minutes to play in regulation. Can the Senators hold on? Looking for win number 10.
Gosh.
Turnover number 10 of the half. And then add insult to injury, we get a personal foul. And this one is going to go against Hunter. Picks up his 3rd personal, and that's team foul number 6. Next one will put the Commodores in the bonus, Joe. And we saw this last night. They continue to kind of hang around even though they seized momentum. And we kept fouling and giving them opportunities to score with the clock stopped to set up pressure.
Yeah. It's silly fouls. You know, Peyton made a
nice
bad pass
screen.
there. Hunter
Hubert,
didn't go where Peyton thought he was going.
Hubert,
we throw it away.
Luke Hubert to Levi Hubert. Nice little give and go on the slip screen. A little pick and roll action. 2.5 to play. 51-43. Dangerous pass again to Byrne as he gets it into the front court to Peyton. And now they'll slow it up to Mike on that W at center court. High post to Byrne. Little feed to Green, who lost the handle. Got it back after it was tipped away. And now the Commodores will extend pressure out in this man-to-man. Kiplinger pokes it away from Michael, who gives it up to Peyton on the wing. Triple threat position, gives it up now on the reversal to Green, who gives it right back. 2-minute warning here in this 4th quarter. Senators up 8. Might become a free throw-a-thon like it did last night. Again, the Senators 17 of 21 in the 4th quarter alone from the free throw line, and they finished the game 23 of 33. We'll have a foul on the floor. Levi Hubert's 2nd personal, team foul number 5. So 2 more to give up before bonus action. It's a 30-second timeout by Coach Carter of the Commodores. He'll be left with 2 full timeouts here down the stretch. Again, 1:56 to go. Joe, you got to hope that we can maintain some composure.
Yeah, we've got to maintain. I tell you one thing right now. If any of the companies from Rolaids or Tums need a spokesperson, I've got the guy for them. If they put a camera on me during one of these games, especially the 3rd and 4th quarter, I guarantee you I could sell some Rolaids.
You might have something waiting in the medicine cabinet when you get home.
Jeez, oh, Pete,
Maybe
I have never seen nothing like it.
You sure it just wasn't too much pizza sauce from Chicago's last night?
Well, I had
after
that,
you got
and
home?
then I had hot wings today at lunch, and a decorated nachos this morning, loaded.
You're just going for the gut buster today, aren't you?
Yeah. Let's go, guys.
I happen to know you don't have the stomach for that.
Yeah.
Minute 50 and counting in the fourth, 51-43. Hunter will be bumped by Kiplinger on the wing. That's only team foul number 6, though, as we'll see a little chess match now. Coach Matt Carter doing a little Scott Newcomb impersonation. Offensive for defensive substitutions. Coach Newcomb, a master of that.
We've got to be strong with the passes here, Misty. We've got to be crisp.
Michael inbound. Eastern, by
we
the way.
Didn't bring anybody to the ball.
Eastern, by the way, on the road, just down 56 over at Chambers Gymnasium, taking on the Rams tonight. Eastern fell to North Harrison last night at home in Mid-Southern Conference play. As we'll have a foul by the Commodores. This will be team foul number 7, and this one will go against Ty Mullis, and that'll be his third personal with a minute 40 to play. Basher will come out. Offense for defense. Luke Hubert checks back in. Now Bryce will go in for defense, perhaps as Michael knocks down the first free throw. That's his first attempt of the night. 52-43, Byrne comes out. So we'll trade a little size for speed. Jackson certainly not slow of foot, though. Got some quick feet in the post. Michael's got 7 on the night, 2 for 2 from the charity stripe. Make it 53-43, double-digit advantage once more for West Washington. Kiplinger gives it off to Bishop on the wing. Tried to free him up for a 3, couldn't get it. Now Luke Hubert will rise, fire over Green, and draw nothing but air. Nice rebound attempt effort. That was by Levi Hubert as he threw it off the back shoulder of Bryce Farmer to save the possession, Joe. Minute 24 to go.
We really blocked out well that time, but nobody knew where the ball was.
And then it's Kiplinger who gets the inbounds pass, and he turns and steps on the sideline. Unforced error is turnover number 6 of the half, 8th of the game. Byrne for Farmer, and they'll go back and forth with this sub pattern, as well as Coach Carter going back and forth with Basher and Hubert, offense for defense. Not wanting Hubert to get that fourth personal. Hunter's going to throw it down with authority, 2-hand slam. The Flush brothers back in business. Peyton had a shot earlier in the game, decided to go with a little finger roll. Hunter, though, rises up with the 2-hand flush and perhaps puts the final stamp and dagger into the heart of this Perry Central team. 66 seconds to play, 55-43.
That was nice.
Get up. Rise up, young man. He did. Nice. 66 seconds to play. Joe's just trying to work off those Rolades that are calling his name. 60 seconds to play. 12-point advantage. Perry Central trying to dig back. Bishop with a 3. Nice answer. Luke Bishop with his 3rd triple of the night. 55-46. Timeout on the floor by the Commodores. Got to be a full timeout. That's all he's got left. Matt Carter calls the full timeout. 53.4 on the clock. Let's step aside and we'll take a break as well, and we'll come back with the conclusion of this one. Senators try to hang on, leading the Commodores here late in the 4th. Back for the conclusion of this one. Coach Carter does have one full timeout left in his pocket. 53.4. They get it to Sizemore. He's double teamed, and we'll have a quick whistle by Tim Stroud. This will result in foul number 8 whistled against the Commodores here, as Byrne and Farmer will have an exchange. A substitution here again. 51.5 on the clock. Michael walks to the other end on the year, just a hair under 70% from the free throw line. 33 of 48 thus far on the season. Michael, a perfect 2 for 2 thus far. Cashes in on the first. the front end of a bonus opportunity. 56-46, back to a 10-point advantage. Second free throw on the way, and that one rattles home. So Michael, a perfect 4 of 4. 57-46. Hubert to the other end. Nice step through on Farmer. Couldn't get the bank shot to fall. Rebound fought for. Last touch by Green, who was battling 3 green jerseys.
Michael also. There were about 5 of them tied up there.
42.5 seconds to play. Again, a 1-4 low set. They try to get, now they're going to have a dead ball foul. Noah's going to get a hold on Levi Hubert, who stepped back for a lob and then ducked back down to the block on a little jab step.
As Noah was his body was leaning towards him to go out.
Farmer out, Byrne in, 42.5 to play. And to the line, Levi Hubert. He's 1 for 1 on the night. That one long. That was team foul number 7 against West Washington, and that was Noah's second. Noah gets it in the front court, picked up by Levi Hubert. They're going to have to offer a foul quick, and they finally do. And let's see who they get. I think they're going to get Mullis for this one. And in fact, it will go against Ty Mullis, giving him 4 now. Team foul number 9, so Noah with a bonus opportunity. So he has a word with official Jeff Morning. Jeff Morning along with Rick Jackson and Tim Stroud here. The Indiana High School Athletic Association trio calling this one tonight. First free throw up and good for Green. So surprisingly enough, Joseph, guess what? Noah's first point of the night.
That's
Team's
unusual.
leading scorer at about 14 a game.
And hasn't took many shots. Maybe 1.
Second free throw up and good. 59-46.
Gotta
and
have
a basket.
help. Need backside
underneath.
help there to seal that off.
Mullis with a basket. He's got 7 alone in this quarter, trying to help the Commodores hang tough, but time winding down here. Just under 11 seconds to go. I have a whistle and a timeout. 30-second timeout left in the pocket for West Washington, and they'll burn it here with 10.6 on the clock. Let's step aside 10 seconds for station identification.
When you're listening to IU Sports, you need to be locked in on WSLM 97.9 FM, your home for IU Sports.
What's your analysis here thus far, Joe? I know it's not officially over yet, but overall tonight, your impression?
Good, solid night. This is probably one of the best nights I think we've played overall. You know, we started at the tip, and we've continued to flow through the game. Perry Central had a couple runs, you know, that got back a little closer, makes you a little nervous. But we took the jab, we took the shot, we bounced back, and we continued on. We scored baskets, and we spread it back out.
Senators trying to cap this thing off. Coach Carter calls off the Dogs and says, let's let the Senators just dribble this one out as they pick up their 10th win of the year. 59-48 is going to be your final as they win it over Perry Central, as the Senators not only pick up their 10th win of the year, but now all important for them, they go to 3-0 halfway through the conference portion of their schedule. They will have, though, 3 doozies left, and it will start next Friday night as they'll welcome in the Mitchell Blue Jackets. Always an intriguing matchup. That's a series that sometimes has been heated over the last few seasons. They'll have Mitchell in here, though, next Friday night with a trip to Crawford looming, and then, of course, they'll close out the conference portion of their schedule against a Tom Bradley squad in Orleans that typically is not the Orleans team you see. So right now you got to look at, Senators, of course, got to take care of business at home, but the asterisk for me is the trip to Ron Ferguson Gymnasium down in Marengo. Very tough environment, I know, from the fan, the coach, and player aspect. Hard to go down there and get a win, and they're going to have to pull out all the stops against Levi Carmichael's group. But if they do, then they got themselves in a pretty good position to claim their first ever outright conference title.
I tell you, the first thing I think about is Mitchell and the Blackwell kid. He's tough. He's kind of an NBA-style player. He'll slash around, force you in, dribble back, step back, take the shot. He can shoot the ball from anywhere on the floor. He can play you inside. He can play you outside. He's a real outside threat, and he's a good defensive player. He's long, plays good defense. So against Mitchell, that, even we got him at home. That's a good thing, with this run we've got going to bring them home. And then, like you say, you step down to Crawford County. Crawford County's always got a big crowd, a loud crowd. And they're always very supportive down there, and they're ready to get after it. So, let's take Mitchell next week first and see if we can handle that. Big brother's coming in town we're having a late Christmas with him. He's coming in from St. Louis and his wife Rachel. So we look forward to that. And Peyton always likes and enjoys to have Wesley here to watch him play. So maybe he'll have another good night, and we can pull off this fourth in a row conference win.
We're going to step aside, and we're going to take a break, hear a word from a couple of sponsors. When we come back, we'll begin our Ace Hardware of Salem Senator post-game wrap-up here courtside at the Ron Smith Court inside the friendly confines. Senators, your winner tonight, 59-48, the final, an 11-point spread for the Senators. Back with our post-game right after this.
Gymnasium for tonight's game. It's time to introduce the starting lineup, and the crowd is on their feet and they're going wild. And here comes the new players. We've got the premium quarter pounders coming in tonight alongside the chicken classic sandwiches. Playing forward tonight, we have got one-of-a-kind McWrap. Guarding your hunger, it looks like we've got McDouble and McChicken coming in. And starting in the center court tonight will be Big Mac. Look on the sideline, folks. We have Chicken McNuggets cheering tonight alongside those golden delicious fries. Hot and always ready. You'll score points every time you bring the family into Salem McDonald's, right here on Main Street, before or after the game. Don't forget to top off your favorite meal with a cold soft drink, that famous Mickey D sweet tea, or something from their full line of smoothies and McCafe coffee drinks. Order inside from 4 a.m. to 11, or get that one-of-a-kind taste 24 hours at the drive-thru. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Head on down to Eddie Gilstrap Motors in Salem and get your new or used Ford, Ram, Chrysler, Dodge, or Jeep. Stop in the new office at 207 South Main Street right here in Salem for the best deals in the Kentuckiana area. See Steve, Travis, or Neil and give them an idea of what you're looking for. Whether it's new or used, the guys at Eddie Gilstrap Motors will work hard to put you in the ride of your life. Check out the new Ford and Ram trucks as well as their new crossovers and SUVs. Or if new is not in your budget, the no-pressure guys at Eddie Gilstrap Motors will help you find a certified pre-owned vehicle. Stop in today at Eddie Gilstrap Motors for the best deals in the Kentuckiana area. Call today at 812-883-3481 or check them out online at EddieGilstrapMotors.com. Don't forget the body shop and come see the all-new Detail Center and speak to Brian Fisher about what he can do for all your detailing needs.
Back here inside the friendly confines as we begin our Ace Hardware of Salem Senator post-game show. A complete wrap-up of a Senator win tonight, 59-48. Senators take it by 11, go to 10-3 overall on the season, 3-0 in the conference. Meanwhile, Perry Central slips now to 5-8. They get a split on the weekend after the big win at home against Southridge last night by 11. They fall here tonight, though, by 11 to West Washington, again moving them to 5-8 now on the year, and they dip to 1-2 in the conference. Let's run down the scoring for both clubs. First for the Perry Central Commodores tonight, 3 guys in double figures led by Ty Mullis with 16 points, 12 of those 16 coming in the second half of play, 14 for Luke Bishop, and Luke Hubert chips in 11, all of those coming in that first half. He set most of the second half with those 4 personal fouls. Levi Hubert chips in 7. Jacob Kelly starts but does not tally. John Basher, as well as Cage Kiplinger and Adam Doby all play but do not tally for the Commodores, who end with 48 points on the night. They go 4 of 6 from the charity stripe for 67%. They were perfect at the free throw line in that first half, 3 of 3. They had 11 two-point field goals and 8 makes from beyond the arc. 9 giveaways in all for the Commodores. 6 of the 9 turnovers coming in that second half of play for Perry Central. Meanwhile, for the Senators, with the win, now 10 on the year overall, they get 3 guys in double figures, 22 for Hunter Sanford on a big night for him. Leading the way, Peyton Walker joins him, as well as Jackson Byrne in double figures. Peyton has 15 points and Jackson Byrne with 11. Might note that Peyton and Hunter both perfect 4 for 4, as well as Michael Sizemore 4 for 4, and Noah Green 2 for 2. So Senators, big night for them from the free throw line. They didn't shoot as high of a volume as they did last night. They were 23 of 33 against the Hawks. Tonight, 14 attempts, but the good news for them, 14 makes. So gotta like those odds in that percentage. And then 2 points for Noah Green. Again, just a quiet night for him. 2 of 2 from the charity stripe in that fourth quarter. Bryce Farmer, Camden Zink play, but do not tally for the Senators. 59 points total on the board. Again, 14 of 14 from the charity stripe. They shot 4 of 4 in that first half from the free throw line. They turned it over 16 times, though, tonight. 10 of those 16 coming in the second half. They hit 18 shots from two-point range and chipped in 3 from beyond the arc. 1 from Michael and 1 from Peyton and 1 from Jackson Byrne there in the first quarter. Scoring by quarter went like this, 20-10 after the first period of play. Senators with a 10-point edge, but it was Perry Central who opened up the second quarter on a 7-0 spurt, made it a 9-2 run overall to draw it pretty close and pretty even there at one point before the Senators kind of picked things up defensively. They did get outscored 12-11 overall in that second period of play, but took a 31-22 advantage into the locker room. Third quarter, a dead heat, 14-14. The maybe one concern for the Senator defense in that third quarter, the fact that they held Perry Central scoreless for the first 4 minutes plus. 4 minutes and 16 seconds to be exact before Ty Mullis got them on the board. So Perry doing most of their damage with that 14 points there late over the last 3 minutes plus. In the fourth quarter, though, the Senators again getting the job done at the free throw line as they go there 8 times. They go 8 for 8 in that final frame, manage only 3 field goals, but they outscore the Commodores 14-12 and take the win 59-48. Again, their 10th of the year, 3rd in the conference, and we're joined now by Coach Smith on the post-game show report. Pretty good night for the ball club all the way around.
Yeah, great weekend for us. Really proud of the guys. They won 2 grinders. First of all, I want to apologize for getting a little snippy with you last night. It wasn't directed at you, but you know, again, we are who we are, and we're a grinded out team, and I know everybody wants us to blow everybody out, but we tried to put the pedal to the metal tonight. We had them down 17, and I was pushing hard, and you know, we run out of gas. We're not built to be a blowout type of team. We're a grinded team, and when we're grinding and just chipping away, chopping wood, as maybe some people say, punching, counter punching, whatever you want to call it, that's when we're really good. And if people think back to our tournament run, those were the games we were winning, grinders. And so, you know, I just want, this is a special group of young men, and we need to get behind them and support them and encourage them to do their best. And I know you weren't intentionally being, you know, negative about it, and that's why I apologize. But there's a negative feel out there, and the boys feel that, and they don't need to feel that. They're great kids, and they know they're missing layups, or they know they're turning it over. They've been through the battles, they've been through the wars, and they know how to win. You know, let's give them credit, whether it's ugly or, you know, beautiful. They know how to win, and ugly wins just as good as a pretty one. And so again, I apologize for being demonstrative there a little bit, but it wasn't directed at you guys. It was just more of a, let's focus on what great things we are doing. And I thought Hunter has had a tremendous weekend, and hopefully he'll build off of that. I feel like our guys stepped up and showed how gritty and tough they are, and real proud of them.
Well, I think sometimes perception can be skewed just a little bit too. It wasn't like you said, it wasn't a negative thing on our part, but just it's going to be a question going down the stretch whenever the rotation's already thin, and then basically 6 guys play last night, and really 6 only tonight. Cam gets a couple of spot minutes. Those tired legs, and I think it was just a perception of, after a week off, maybe not the expectation, not that it was an expectation to go and beat a good Valley team on the road, by 20 plus points, but it just seemed like they didn't have a lot of lift. Now in that second half, I thought they come out with more energy, and then of course they come out with a lot tonight, so maybe saving a little bit on the back end of the double dip weekend. But defensively, I thought a lot more energy, as you said, a lot more movement and up-tempo style that allowed them to force Perry into some bad possessions there in that first quarter of play. And then, you get that nice run at the end of the first quarter. Peyton puts 5 straight on the board, and just a good start for your club.
Yeah, we talked about coming out and taking the fight to them, and we talked about that last night. And I feel like we took the fight to Valley. We just didn't make our layups, and that happens sometimes. Maybe we were pushing a little too much, or maybe we were allowing their physicality to throw us off. But we were being aggressive. We just, unfortunately, in the first half didn't get rewarded for it. I feel like again, that's a focus for us is coming out and being aggressive, taking a fight to people, and not being on our heels, and win a sectional. You got to be able to play back-to-back nights and win grinders and win tight games. And tonight, we ran out of gas a little bit, but I think part of that, I pushed them hard. I was like, hey, let's make some hay here. Let's put these boys away. And we tried a little too hard there, and got sped up on our own accord this time. And instead of just doing our thing, and kind of ran out of juice there and had to hang on. But also, to give our guys credit, we went 14 for 14 from the line and made clutch free throws like they do. I mean, these kids are winners, and you got to be real proud of them. They find ways to win, and that's a great thing.
Big weekend for this team at the free throw line, as I've said a couple times already. 23 of 33 last night, 17 of 21 alone in the fourth quarter tonight, 14 of 14. Going to have that kind of effort, not only getting to the stripe, but capitalizing for those freebies down the stretch.
Absolutely. And then we got, in that situation, we get that lead. We got guys that are good free throw shooters, and they got to want the ball and anticipate that they're going to get fouled, and be ready to own that moment, step up, and make those free throws. And all our guys did that. We got to do a little better job of taking care of the ball there. We got in a hurry trying to make passes that maybe just weren't there instead of being solid and steady. And again, it's understanding who we are, and we're grinders. That's what we do. We're big, we're strong. And we got to execute and on both ends of the court and dominate the boards. And if we do that, we're going to have a great chance to win every night.
Yeah, and perhaps that, the one bugaboo was the fact that, 16 turnovers, 10 of them in that second half with maybe a chance to put it away, but expending as much energy as they did in that first half with those traps maybe led to some tired legs on the back end. But the bottom line, spotless at 3-0 in the conference, but 3 big conference games still left on the schedule. Starts next weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Next weekend we have one conference game, and Mitchell's been playing really well, and they've got of course, the Blackwell kid can really shoot it, and good player. And then they have a new kid that moved in from like a homeschool, and he's really been a dominant player for them. So we're going to have to step up, and we're going to need that type of play and effort from Hunter, and we need all our guys ready to step up and play. Noah had a rough weekend, but at the same time, he's been our rock. He really has been solid throughout the year, and we just need him to get back on track next week, and that's the thing about our team is on any given night a different guy. When we're playing well, we might have a different guy be our leader scorer. Last night we had 5 in double figures, which is great. When we're getting 3 to 5 guys in double figures, we're playing pretty good ball. We just, again, that energy thing. we've got to understand who we are. We can pick our spurts to really get after it, but when it comes down to it, it's going to come down to playing locked up half-court defense. We let 24 get loose, and we didn't make the adjustment. Like, hey, this kid's banging threes. Why aren't we guarding him? Because we got kind of fixated on number 11, which I thought we in the second. He got in foul trouble, but I thought we did a pretty good job on him there at the end. But we let 22 and 24 hurt us in the second half, and that's just we got to understand we got to have good solid team defense, great rebounding, and then on the offensive end we got to execute and get the ball and take advantage of our mismatches and just take care of business, execute. And I thought we've done that at times, but we're not quite clicking on all cylinders yet, but we're still finding ways to win, and that's a great thing.
Senators back in action. A great win here tonight against Perry, and look forward to seeing them try to go to 4-0 in the conference. Look forward to seeing the guys back in action next week.
Appreciate it.
All right, Coach Smith here with us on our Senator post-game show. We've already run down the scoring by quarter and individually for these clubs. We'll let Joe settle back in, and he'll bring us some of the team numbers here from tonight's performance. Again, Senators win at 59-48, the final, 10-3 overall, 3-0 in the conference. Perry drops to 5-8 overall and 1-2 in the conference. Joe still having a conversation here. 2 lead changes tonight. Senators come out, get the first basket of the night off of a Hunter Sanford basket. Perry answers with a 3, though, early by Luke Hubert. And then from there, it was all West Washington as they reclaim the lead on that very next possession and take the lead at 4-3 and never look back. So just 2 lead changes, no ties in this one, but the Senators walk away victorious. And Joe, you've got the final game numbers for us.
Yeah, from the Senators from the floor, they were 18 of 23 from 2-point range at 78%, 3 of 4, 3-point range 75%. Overall from the floor, the Senators were 21 of 27 at 77%. The Commodores were 10 of 24 from 2-point range at 41%, 8 of 22 from 3-point range at 36%. Overall, the Commodores were 18 of 46 from the floor at 39%. Rebounding, the Senators had 3 offensive boards, 20 defensive boards for a total of 23. Perry had 5 offensive boards, 3 defensive boards for a total of 8. 17 assists to 15 turnovers for the Senators, 10 assists for Perry Central, and 8 turnovers. Pretty good game tonight, pretty solid, played pretty good ball, stuck on pretty good here on both sides, defense and offense. May have turned the ball over a few too many times. We've seen some press there that we hadn't seen for a while. That seemed, we just maybe didn't expect it, wasn't looking for it. Coach Carter couldn't really use it much because they couldn't get the ball in the basket in the second half to really set that up. So that's probably a good thing for us because we've kind of struggled with that press a little bit. I think we fixed that press. We keep mending the fences that we've, the repairs we need to make offensively and defensively. I think we're going to turn into a pretty good ball club.
Step aside. We'll take our final break. We'll get one more sponsor spot in. That's Ace Hardware of Salem. Be sure to stop in and check out their January bargains of the month as they bring you this Senator post-game show and all of our festivities here in the Ron Smith Court inside the friendly confines. Senators a winner tonight, 59-48. Back for the final time right after this.
With the helpful hardware, folks.
I have new wood floors and granite countertops, so I went to Ace to find out what I should clean them with.
A lot of people come in asking that. I showed Letitia our cleaning section and pointed out our best brands like Bona and Granite Gold.
Ace is the place that has cleaning covered from floor to ceiling and even does windows.
During January, Ace Rewards members save on select Bona, Windex, Glad, Clorox, and Ziploc. Start the new year with a clean and organized home with help from Ace Hardware of Salem.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Back for the final time here in the friendly confines where the Senators win it tonight in conference play. 59-48 the final over Matt Carter's Perry Central Commodores. And Joe, just a quick look ahead. It sets up a big-time matchup here against a little bit of an enigma in a Mitchell club that has dropped their opener of the season. They dropped one at Springs Valley early in the year, but beat Orleans by 22 just a week or two ago. And so this is a team coming in with some dangerous weapons, as we've already mentioned. But it would be pivotal, I think, for the Senators to come out with that early energy defensively and those active feet and hands that we were able to see with that 1-3-1 and set the tone early against the Jackets.
Yeah, if the Senators could come out and set the tone like they did tonight against the Commodores. They came out and they played solid, through and through, offensively, defensively. They were strong with the ball. A few times we gave up some offensive boards that I didn't like seeing. If we can come out with that kind of intensity against Mitchell, we've got a shot to get them. The home court advantage means a little bit, but not enough when it comes conference time. You've got to be mentally prepared to play those conference games. If you want to raise the crown, you've got to walk the walk and do the talk.
Hunter Sanford tonight will be our Ace Hardware player of the game. Hunter, another big night for him. Last night, Joe, it was 15 points, 16 rebounds. Tonight, he chips in 22 points for a game high, had a couple of big swats, a couple of nice assists, plus 6 rebounds. So he's doing a lot of good things right now for the Senator Club and starting to come alive and gives a guy like Noah Green a break who had been carrying the offensive load as of late.
Well, when Hunter steps it up like he's played the last few games, really solid. He's a mismatch for about any team we've seen so far, except for the team from Bardstown.
Sure.
They had athletes, they had leapers. But you take that away and you go back to what we're playing around here and who we play, which is a very tough schedule as far as I'm concerned. Nobody's got an answer for Hunter that I've seen yet. Now, the Blackwell kid, he'll want to play out on the perimeter more than he will inside. But I think if he goes inside with Hunter, if Hunter can stay out of foul trouble, get in good position, I think Hunter's got the advantage on him.
We'll see what happens. The Hive traveling to the Camelsburg friendly confines here at Dr. T. Kermit Tower Gymnasium next Friday night. Back to usual as the JV will have a 6 o'clock tip. JV around 7:30. We'll be on with our pregame somewhere around 7:10, 7:15. With that pregame show brought to you as always by John Jones, GM City. Joe, look forward to a week of rest and a little bit of calmness in our lives and try to get settled back into a routine here in the month of January and look forward to an exciting stretch here down the final run of games for the Senator team. Let's see if they can pick up that big 4th win in conference play next week.
That'll be nice to pick that win up. Like I said earlier, I'm looking forward to next weekend. My oldest boy coming in for Christmas. We're a month late, but he's coming in from St. Louis, and that's always big, and Peyton always looks forward to seeing him. Peyton was kind of an only child, really, because Wesley left so early, and Caleb was older, and he's the youngest one, and he always looks